One of the things that have actually saturated the Kenyan Forex industry is many Forex traders showcasing their lifestyles, cars, buildings, partying and all that. But looking at you, I went through your page and you're a Forex trader, but you do not show all that. First question is, do you think that the people who show that, all that lifestyle, do you think they portray a different side of Forex or a false side of Forex that maybe we don't know? Many people, I think, that we've actually come across on YouTube and online that are Kenyan, I mean, they've only been in Forex for, per se, 6 months, 8 months, a year or two. Would you say it is actually possible to make a huge amount of Forex in 2 years, of money in Forex in 2 years, in a year, in 6 months, and live such a lifestyle?
I don't think so. You see, the reality is, learning trading in itself, even within 6 months, you might have learned a lot. You might have, because learning is in, I think, 2 or 3 stages. One of the stages is the stage where you learn the theory. You just familiarize with the concept. Trader A would take to practice and learn a certain concept is very different from trader B. You can't even tell someone you're going to become successful within 6 months. Practice with a small live account, that's okay. As long as you know that you're just practicing and you're not trying to make money, that's fine. But telling someone within 6 months you will have made so much money, I'll be completely lying to you. So that does not portray the reality of trading.
For a beginner who's watching this video, because I believe that we have many people who are beginners in Forex and they're just new in Forex. Assume I'm a beginner and I want to get into Forex, and maybe I want a mentor, and of course I'm seeing people flashing their lifestyles, I'm seeing people saying they're Forex traders. What are some of the things that I have to look out for? For example, you mentioned to me, if someone tells you he does account management, that's a red flag. What are other red flags, that I can look at and say, you know what, I'm not going to go the path with this guy. I want to go a different path.
Hello everyone, my name is Vicenta Ali and I want to let you guys know about the best mobile loans app called Chapa Mobile Loan App, which can give you up to 80,000 Kenya shillings in 2 minutes straight to your MPESA. They have no collateral, no CRB checks, and they are the best in personal loans, emergency loans, and business loans. You can actually download a Chapa Loan App today on the Google Play Store.
Inakuwaje watu wangu wa nguvu, mimi naitwa presenter Ali, your entertainment PA, the A is for amazing. It's another episode fully and proudly sponsored by Chapa Mobile Loan App. They give you the best personal loans, emergency loans, and also business loans. You can get up to 80,000 Kenya shillings, imagine, straight to your M-Pesa in 2 minutes. You don't need no collateral, no CRB. Ingia kwenye link ambayo nimepin kwenye comment section na pia nimeiweka kwenye description. Of course, download Chapa Mobile Loan App and get immediate loans in 2 minutes up to 80,000. Anyways, leo nimekuja kupiga story with one amazing Forex trader. Of course, nimekuwa nikifanya interviews za traders wengi sana, and some of you guys actually requested that presenter Ali, please make sure that unaleta clinical effects. Nataka tupige naye story today, tujue ukweli ni upi kuhusu Forex na pia what has his journey been in Forex. Lakini kabla ya hapo, let him actually introduce himself.
Yeah, asante President Ali for having me.
Karibu sana.
Yeah, my name is Rick. That's how I go on YouTube, Rick the Trader. But on Instagram, I call myself Clinical Effects. So I'm a financial markets trader. I've been trading for about 6 years. So at the moment, I'm a full-time day trader. And what I do is just trading and managing funded accounts, which people call prop firms. So basically what I just do is trade for prop firms, then I make money from that. And what I'm just doing right now is to try to scale my trading capital. And at the same time, I also run an online trading community through the social media pages that I've told you, where I just share my experience, my trading experience, my trading journey, and just showing people my performance. And just trying to inspire a few traders and to share content so that it can help them to also learn all about trading.
Amazing. How did you stumble into FX? Like, before, I'm sure there's the first time you heard about Forex, and also there's the first time you got into Forex.
So I heard about Forex first when I was in high school, long time ago. I think somewhere from 3, I can't even remember. That's I don't know, 2014, 15, somewhere there. I heard about. I used to see people looking at these graphs, but I didn't know what it was. But it's until when I now joined campus in 2017, it's when I now started knowing of this thing called Forex. And I knew it from someone who is like a friend, a close family member, who I used to see him doing the same thing, and he told me he does Forex. So back then I didn't know much about it. I just took it from him that trading is a career like any other. It can take time, etc. He gave me a free website called Baby Pips. I went and I started studying there, and then the rest was just a journey of now learning ups and downs, struggling, failing here and there. Yeah, until somewhere in my third, fourth year, I started now getting the breakthrough. I started understanding what I'm doing in the markets. Then I switched to now from managing my own small personal accounts. Then I got introduced to the world of prop firms, which basically allow you to scale your capital and trade huge amounts of money that a normal person would never get by themselves. Yeah, and then from there, it's just been the same thing that I do until now, managing the funds. And then until somewhere last year is when I decided to now start publicizing my trading knowledge through YouTube, Instagram. Yeah.
Would you say that most of the knowledge that you got probably, in Forex, you got it through the Baby Pips, or you got it through your own research in YouTube and other sources?
So it's a combination of many things. So Baby Pips, first of all, as a free platform, it just gives you the basics of trading. But then, trading is more than just watching someone's YouTube channel. So after learning Baby Pips, which is more of written material, you read notes, etc., I got some idea of what I was doing. But then I still went on YouTube and studied from very, very many different YouTube channels. So I'd say I'm more of self-learned, but you can't really say self as long as you learn from someone. But the idea is, I didn't have a specific mentor who was telling me take this direction, which also makes the process harder. So I watched so many YouTube videos. I think I've watched almost any YouTube video that existed 3-4 years ago, or 3-4-5 years when I was starting. I used to watch the videos, you do a lot of practice, but I'll say apart from watching the videos don't make you profitable. I think what really helps is the consistent practice. So after watching the videos, I took a lot of time practicing. And in the process of practicing, you're going to fail a lot. You're going to try practicing something that you saw on YouTube. You try to apply it, but you can't see the same thing that you saw that guy doing on YouTube. But the more you do it over time, let's say in trading, the more you practice, the easier it gets. So it gets to a point where your eyes can just see the things in the market very easily without struggling. Yeah, so you start to spot patterns in the market which are repeating themselves over and over. Then from those patterns is when you can derive something that I always call a setup. It's a whole journey, but I can't say just learn from one place. A combination of the Baby Pips, a little, but most of it was from watching a lot of videos. And the best learning is from the practice. Yeah.
You said you started like 6 years ago, and many people, whenever I'm having this conversation with them, they tell me probably, I was going, through some financial crisis. I was looking for a job. I was looking for something to make me money. Were you in the same situation?
So for me, mine, when I started about 6 years ago, I was in first year in campus. And mine was just the, I had this drive just to want to do other things. So apart from taking the course that I was taking in school, which is economics, I always wanted to also do something else on the side. And most importantly, it was from the perspective of, as people say, you can't build a very, luxurious or this wealthy life from just books or academics. So I always knew as I'm studying, let me try to figure out something. Yes. I tried entrepreneurship kidogo. There's a time my friends and I tried to open a business of smoky kidogo. I was brainwashed kuingia these MLMs, these things where they tell you put money and then you recruit people. Just in first year, all of these things I tried. So it wasn't directly Forex. I just tried to look for things that can help me to grow in the next maybe 3-4 years. Then in the process, also thought of online writing. I figured out it doesn't pay much over the long period of time because you can't scale it the same way you can scale other businesses. Then I figured out, let me now try trading. Yeah. So I found it, I think, just at that point in time. Yeah.
And how did you end up getting into prop firm trading? Because I see many people, they claim to be very big traders and they're still not doing, prop firm trading.
Well, it depends. You see, the thing is for you to make reasonable returns in trading, let's say, you require reasonable capital. And I always give this context. A good trader is anyone who can do anywhere between 3 to 5% returns a month. Doesn't mean if you do 10%, if you have a 10% month, it's bad. No, that's okay. But I'm just saying typically, if you can do anywhere from 3 to 5% return a month, you're a good trader. And if you do the math, 3% on a $1,000 account is $30. That's nothing. 3% on a $10,000 account 10,000 looks like a lot of money, but still 3% on $10,000 is $300. Okay, now $300 is some money, but still you can't grow much with that. So for you, if you want to make, figures like $3,000, $4,000 in a month, you need to be having $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 plus. So the reality is, yes, I could trade using my own capital if I wanted, but I don't have the amount of money. Like the average person can't afford $100,000 to deposit on their account comfortably. So that's why we choose to go the route of prop firms, because they give us that leverage to trade funds that we would never trade on our own. But I'd say, over time, maybe the next 1 year, 2 years, the more I grow, the more I make money from prop firms, the more I stabilize in other areas of life, maybe I'll get to a place where I'll be able to deposit my own $100,000, $200,000 comfortably. Right now, I could deposit $1,000, $5,000, but still with $5,000, even if I make 5%, even $10,000, 5% return, that's not a lot of money to sustain someone's lifestyle. So that's why we choose to go the route of prop firms. Yeah.
Let's a little bit talk about prop firm trading, because I believe that many people really need to understand this. Of course, the other day I had a conversation with Band, and he expounded it a little. Maybe there are a few challenges that people have to go through, every step. Maybe you fund like $100, then you're given an account of like a bigger account. Explain it to someone who's green.
Perfect. So a prop firm is just, prop firm means proprietary trading. So a proprietary firm is a firm that they have the access to the capital. So they choose to leverage by giving you capital, because you, the trader, need the capital, but you don't have it. So what they are looking for is someone who has the skill, someone who can trade their funds or manage their capital. Then in return, you do get something called a split. For example, if they give you, let's say, $100,000, in a month, let's say you return 6%. That's about $6,000 in Kenyan money. So a typical prop firm will pay you 80% of the money you've made. So from $6,000, you'll be paid 80%, which is maybe 4,000 and something, I'm not sure, yeah? Then they keep 20%. So the idea is they have the funds, they have the funds, you have the skill. So you need their fund, they need your skill. Now, the other thing is they have to prove that you have the skill. Yes. Also, you have to prove that you have the skill to them, for them to give you that access to capital. So what happens is you do something called a challenge. A challenge is basically a test. Now, this test is not the same like, the school test where you write A, B, C, D, etc. It's the type of test where, let's say you want to get funded $100,000. Yes. So they're going to give you targets. For example, you need to hit 8% target in terms of return, or rather return on investment. You need to do an 8% ROI on the $100,000 account. However long that will take you. Some of them have limits, but nowadays almost all of them don't have time limits. So even if it takes you 2 months to hit 10% or the 8%, you would have passed the first test. Then most tests are in 2 steps. After passing the first test, you have to do another test. They give you the same $100,000. Then they tell you, now this time, since you already did 8%, this time just do a 5% to prove to us that the first 8% you made wasn't by mistake. Exactly. Okay. So once you prove the second time, they now accredit you. You get a certificate. All those things. They tell you that now we think you are a good trader who can manage our funds or our capital. So at that point in time, they now give you access to a live account. Yeah, we say a live account because some of them don't necessarily give you money, but you still get the same leverage, and when you withdraw, you're going to make the real money. So at the end of the day, it's just money, real money, yeah. They give you access to know that live account. They don't give you money that, like, they send you $100,000 to your bank. No, you just, they have their company has a structure. So they're partnered with brokers. So they just give you a live account from a broker that has their $100,000. So your work is just to log in from wherever you are, then you place trades. Then any return you make, they're going to pay you. Yes.
Wow. That sounds interesting, and I think you've actually explained it, in a layman's language for someone to actually understand. One of the things that have actually saturated the Kenyan Forex industry is many Forex traders showcasing their lifestyles, cars, buildings, partying and all that. But looking at you, I went through your page, and you're a Forex trader, but you do not show all that. First question is, do you think that the people who show that, all that lifestyle, do you think they portray a different side of Forex, or a false side of Forex that maybe we don't know?
To some extent. You see, I'd say, I think it's a balance. It's not even a balance. I think it's maybe 70-30. 70 of it is bad, maybe 30 could be good. Because it's true the lifestyle is there in trading, especially if you get to a certain level. But some people, you know, they over showcase it just intentionally as a marketing scheme to maybe try to lure you to purchase something. But it's not false that we do have money in trading in the long term. But it's very difficult to tell, especially for a new person. Let's say it's very difficult for a new trader to tell the difference between a legit trader and a fake trader, because most people, they come across first the lifestyle. And the reality is, as much as there is money in trading, it's very wrong for you to just show people the lifestyle from morning to evening, especially if you don't show them how you trade, you don't show them. And when I say how you trade, I don't mean screenshots, because most traders just show you a screenshot, I did a withdrawal. That's actually nothing. It's very possible for me to deposit $2,000 today. I lose even $200. How much am I left with? $1,800. Tomorrow I'll do a withdrawal live on Instagram, and I showed you I withdraw $1,500. But I've not shown you that I deposited 2,000 and I've lost 200. So anyone showing you withdrawals, just a withdrawal without showing you the account statement for the past 2-3 months is actually useless. It doesn't paint the whole picture. So the reality is just showing people lifestyle without showing them the process of how you analyze the market, how you get your trades, and most importantly, show people your track record. For me on my YouTube, the first quarter of the year, I showed my track record for the first quarter, where I did a return of 14% on my account for the first 3 months of the year. It's live on YouTube, it's documented, and I don't just come after 3 months and show people that I did 14%. Every month after month, weekly, I was doing live analysis, saying what I'm expecting in the market even before it happens. So you just can't come and say, he just came up with these numbers from somewhere. So the thing with showing track record is, you can't argue with statistics and you can't argue with data. Because if someone shows you this is my track record for the past 3, 4, 5 months, you can't argue with that. But if someone just comes and shows you a screenshot, it's very difficult to even tell whether it's real or not. And the other thing is, the problem with lifestyle is, lifestyle doesn't really portray what the real trading is. Yeah. So just seeing someone's lifestyle, someone can buy a car from Forex, but if you don't understand the process, you won't understand. It won't paint you the real picture of the grind that is required, of the commitment that is required in terms of the hours of practice, the years you're going to spend learning, not even months, I'm just telling you for free. The years you're going to spend learning and, you know, all those things. Just showing the lifestyle doesn't paint it. But I'm saying it's not completely bad, because if truly you've made your money from trading for a long time and you show people all your results, then one day you choose to show people an inspiration that, hey, I bought a car from Forex. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
Many people, I think, that we've actually come across on YouTube and online that are Kenyan, I mean, they've only been in Forex for, per se, 6 months, 8 months, a year or 2. Would you say it is actually possible to make a huge amount of Forex in 2 years, of money in Forex in 2 years, in a year, in 6 months, and live such a lifestyle?
I don't think so. You see, the reality is, learning trading in itself, even within 6 months, you might have learned a lot. You might have, because learning is in, I think, 2 or 3 stages. One of the stages is the stage where you learn the theory. You just familiarize with the concept, let's say support and resistance, what is market structure, just learning the theory. The second stage is the stage where you now start practicing these things. The practice takes a lot of time, because by the time you are practicing, in fact, the time trader A would take to practice and learn a certain concept is very different from trader B. You can't even tell someone you're going to become successful within 6 months. If you practice for 1 hour a day and the other trader practices for 6 hours a day, your timeline will be different, because it's a matter of skill. I'll use this example of football. If you get trained by the best footballer, let's say Ronaldo or Messi, arguably, whichever you want, they train you on how they dribble. They show you all their tactics for a whole 1 month. They're training you. Then they leave you. Will you be able to do everything they do 100%?
Not really.
But what if you keep practicing for the next 6 months, 1 year, 2 years? At some point, you see, the keyword is at some point. We can't know whether it's 6 months or 8 months. But as long as you keep practicing, a point comes where you'll be able to do the same thing that they were doing. So trading is a skill. I insist it's a skill, because you have to practice so much for you to be able to master it. So it's very difficult to become a successful trader within 3 or 4 months. You can learn the theory. After the theory, the next part I said was the practicing bit. After the practicing bit, now you can be very conversant with the market. You know what you are doing. But then there's the bit where you need to work on your psychology. The psychology will also take different time spans for different people. Now, learning psychology never ends. You never get to a point where you say, I fully mastered trading psychology and that I never have emotions. The emotions are always there, but you just get better at handling yourself in the markets. So, all these things, you can't do them within 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. And we're just talking about learning, right?
Not even trading itself.
No. We're just talking about learning. Of course, as you're learning, maybe you'll be practicing. Some people choose to practice with a small live account. That's okay. As long as you know that you're just practicing and you're not trying to make money, that's fine. But telling someone within 6 months you'll have made so much money, I'll be completely lying to you. So that does not portray the reality of trading. Most people who show you such stuff, I think you need to start asking them, show me your account statement for the past 3 months, 4 months. And you realize they probably don't have one. Yeah.
Oh, very interesting angle there. And I mean, there has actually also been a whole lot of issues where people, are claiming that, they've been scammed by, Forex traders, people claiming to be Forex traders. I mean, does it in a way negatively affect this industry? Considering the fact that you are in this industry, you are working in this industry, you are making money from this industry, do you feel like many scammers or us having people who are scamming people, claiming to be Forex traders, does it affect your industry?
It affects the industry. It doesn't affect the Forex market in itself. The Forex market is a very big global market. It can be affected by, people who are not even known. But the whole idea is it affects the, how the industry is painted. I feel like 95% of people who are interested in trading, the first person they come across is usually the people who are showcasing lifestyle. And the reality is most of them don't show the real picture. They don't paint the real picture. So it's very unfortunate. And sometimes I really empathize, with these people because some of them are very genuine people who just want to learn. But the first person you come across is just another TikToker showing you lifestyle, and they're not even maybe real traders. So when they get conned, the whole picture is that I tried trading and the first person I met conned me. I've tried another one and they conned me. And the funny thing is some of these people are maybe even big people. So they tell themselves if this someone had this many followers and maybe they scammed me, they believe there is no one who's real in trading. Forget about even no one being real. Some of them don't even believe trading in itself is real, right? So I think, yes, it does paint the industry in a bad way. But it's easy to say that, in many other industries, there are always bad people. So I don't think trading is the first industry that has maybe scammers or people who are wrong. The best thing that maybe we can do, those people who have, a voice or, I don't know, just trying to show people the real performance. I always say, if you showcase so much of real, it will outweigh the fake. So if you show people the real performance, the real statistics, someone will start questioning those other guys. So for me, just try to show people the reality of trading. It's you to do your math and, decide whether you still think what those people show you is real. Yeah.
A question. For a beginner who's watching this video, because I believe that we have many people who are beginners in Forex and, they're just new in Forex. Assume I'm a beginner and I want to get into Forex and maybe I want a mentor, and of course I'm seeing people flashing their lifestyles. I'm seeing people saying they're Forex traders. What are some of the things that I have to look out for? For example, you mentioned to me, if someone tells you he does account management, that's a red flag. What are other red flags, that I can look at and say, like, you know what, I'm not going to go the path with this guy. I want to go a different path.
Yeah, first of all, that's a very difficult question to answer. A while back, I used to think you can just say, if someone asks me, how do you know a good trader, you can just tell them, look at this, look at that. But then I realized, genuinely, someone who's starting out trading, they usually can't identify the difference. Because there are people who showcase lifestyle, and some of them are scammers. Some of them showcase lifestyle, and some of them are real. Okay. So it's very difficult for just a new guy, a newbie, to know the real difference between. And I'm talking of a new person because you've said a new person. For me right now, trust you, I can tell you for free, this guy is not a trader. Some of them might not even be necessarily scammers, exactly. But they're just people who are just, I don't know, hiding themselves in trading. I don't even know.
Maybe marketing for a broker.
Marketing for a broker. So they're the name is influencers. Some of them are just trading influencers. They might not necessarily be scammers stealing your money, but they're just marketing, but they're using the trading. So it's easy when you've grown to a certain level. But for a new beginner, it's very difficult. So this is what I always say. If you're very new to trading sometimes, as controversial as it might be, it might not be the wisest thing that you heard about Forex yesterday and tomorrow you're paying someone. you won't know the difference between someone who's real and someone who's fake. It's the same thing as they say, if you want to invest in a certain field, go and learn about the field first. So that's the approach I would take for a beginner. If you are new, as hard as it sounds, try to first familiarize with the trading concepts. The first thing is not for you to say, okay, you've seen Rick on an interview, let me go and pay for his, mentorship, whatever, if at all I have one, just because, you like how the guy is speaking. You might easily pay for to the wrong person. So as a new person, my advice is, first of all, try to familiarize and understand what is even trading in the first place. Some people pay guys to teach them how to trade, yet they don't even have interest to become traders. Now, you don't know, you can't know you lack interest until you try studying it. Right? So if you try studying it for 1 month, you might easily realize, man, I don't think I want to become a trader. So you won't even get to the extent where you pay someone. So I'll say try to just study the market for a while. There are free websites like Baby Pips. Try to watch a few YouTube videos. It's gonna be challenging. Then another thing that I always say is, if you've been here for a few months, there's something called a trading personality, whereby you can watch someone, not their lifestyle, their trading content, how they analyze the market. And from watching how they analyze the market, you find that your personality resonates with how they analyze the market. We have so many different trading styles. There's a quote that says there are a million ways to develop an edge in the market, meaning we can have 100 different traders here. Each one of them could be profitable, and each one of them looks at the market in a different way. Each one of them analyzes different asset classes. Some of them, could be a Forex trader, a futures trader. One of them could be trading currencies. Another one could be trading gold. Another could be trading indices. So we have different ways to make money in the market. That being said, you need to, as you watch different people, find the one that you think your personality, or rather, let me make it easy. As you watch them, it's making more sense to you. The more you watch them, the more you feel like I'm understanding his or her style. And if I try to look at the markets after watching what they have said, I feel like I'm seeing the same things he's saying in the market, and it's making sense. That's the best way to identify a mentor. That first of all, you're familiar with the market, you know what you're doing, you know that you are really interested. Then after sampling a few guys, go with the one that you feel like you resonate the most with them. And most importantly, go with someone who has a track record. Someone who, when you watch their videos, you can see their performance over time. You can see how they've been breaking down the markets, and you can follow it up, and you can see it's actually making sense and it's real.
One of the things actually that stand out in this conversation is the fact that you always have, whatever you're saying is like, there's no shortcut. You have to put in the work. Do you feel like many people, maybe they get into Forex and they're not ready? They think it's a quick rich scheme?
Yeah, the answer is yes. It's very hard to blame those people at the same time. Why I don't blame them is because what they come across first is lifestyle. So you can't blame them. Like, you're naive and all you've come across is people showing you how you just made this money in Forex. Some of them even tell you I made it in 6 months, or I started Forex last year and by now you already owns I don't know what type of car. So it gives you the mentality. So it's very difficult to blame these people who think like that. But now coming back to your question, the answer is yes. Many people come to trading for lifestyle or for quick money. They think, I'm struggling with life. I meet, like you see the way I do YouTube now and Instagram. I haven't grown so much, but with the numbers that I have, I get people who DM me often. And one of the things that I always get is someone who has life problems, telling you that I need to raise this money, etc. And I'm thinking I can learn this thing. Even some people tell me that, is there a way you can teach me this thing? And maybe in the next 3 or 4 months, paka nakuuliza, naona aje, ukinipea ka 3 or 4 months, do you think I can be able to make this money to start paying my rent, to start? So people come here for the wrong reasons. And the reality, which I'd tell you right now, as unpleasant as it sounds, is trading is a career like any other. If you can't put in the work, forget about the industry. I think the more I've grown in trading, the more I always try to make it as brutal as possible. So that if you find me to be harsh with how I portray trading, you'd rather know that it's not easy, that you quit, than me lying to you that it's an easy thing. And it's so unfair that people go to other industries. You want to become a lawyer, you want to become a doctor, you put in the work. You put in the work to be paid, some salary, to be on a payroll. Then trading, which has the capacity to, you can scale your capital in trading up to millions. Even me right now where I am nowhere close to the potential of where I want to be in trading in terms of the capital that I'm managing. You can scale your capital, you can scale your returns. Those are things you can't do in other industries. So if you can't see how valuable trading is for you to be willing to give it, let's say 2, 3, or 4 years to commit, I'm not saying it's going to take you 4 years, but if you can't see that value for you to put in 2-3 years of hard work to commit and learn this thing, you might as well just quit. It's not an easy way. It's not a shortcut to your problems. Yes.
Someone told me that there are two hards, you know, the upper hard and the lower hard. Your life is hard because you're not working hard, but also working hard is not easy. So you just choose your hard.
That's actually very true. Very true.
That's very true. And also, you've been in the Forex industry for 6 years. You're clocking 7 years in September.
No. Every September I start a new year. So this is the 6th year. So coming to September, I'll be finishing the 6th year. I'll now be starting the 7th year. Wow. Yeah.
What are some of the things that you feel like, you know, you've learned and you're like, if I had known this before, I think I would be, you know, miles away, you know, from where I am right now?
I always look at it in two ways. There are times where I feel like I wish I had some things when I started. Then there are times where I look at myself and I'm like, if I had those things, maybe I wouldn't be where I am right now. One of them maybe is for me just guidance. Yeah. And by guidance, I don't even mean necessarily mentorship or paying for something. But I feel like one of the things that I struggled with trading when I started, which most people do right now, is you juggle around so much content until you don't know the difference of what you need to focus on. You don't know the difference of what works and what doesn't work. You just watch so many videos, you read so many PDFs, you practice so many concepts. I don't know there's any trading concept that I haven't practiced out there, especially these popular concepts. There's none that I didn't try to practice and learn, at least in my so far until date, especially in my first 2-3 years. But then it takes you so long for you to narrow down and realize, maybe I should just focus on this. It takes you so long for you to build the confidence that this thing works. Well, I feel like if you had the guidance from someone who's already doing it, not just any random person, someone who's already doing it, has the track record, you can see them making a living from trading consistently. I feel like it's easy for you to draw confidence from them because you can say, if I see this guy doing it, then I can do it. And then it's also easy for you to get the guidance in the sense that, apart from watching these many videos, it's going to tell you, focus on these important concepts. Like even me on my YouTube, there are so many trading concepts, but I don't teach everything even on my YouTube in terms of what I share. I just try to share things that I think will help you. There are so many things you can consume that are useless. But on the other hand, again, I look at it and I'm like, the fact that I went through that long route, I feel like it's made me probably a very different person and a very stable trader right now in the markets. Like in terms of my psychology, in terms of developing my edge, I feel like that struggle has built me to become a very great trader. So I'm not so sure whether I regret that, but maybe, it's like a 50-50, yeah. But I just think looking back, maybe I would just wish it was easier for me to know what do I need to focus on for me to become the great trader, yeah.
Apart from the trading experience, one of the things we've also talked, offset, is the trading psychology, and you've actually mentioned it right now. I mean, I need to understand, for someone who's new, what is trading psychology?
Right. So trading psychology is just the emotions. We are humans, right? Yeah. So the emotions involved in your trading, which might affect might affect your trading performance in a negative way. Yeah. So for example, you do have a trading system. A trading system is just like a strategy that you have back-tested, and you have proven that as long as I'm following this approach in the market, I should be making money over a long period of time. Yes. Not every day, but over a long period of time. That is net, considering both the losses and the wins, right? But then the strategy tells you what you need to look for before you enter the market. But then you go to the market, you don't see exactly what you need to look for, but your emotions tell you, let me just try, right? So you are now disrespecting the strategy or the system. Yeah. So that's what trading psychology is. And trading psychology is very wide. There is not just such thing as trading psychology. There is psychology in so many, from different lenses. Let me give you different examples. There's a psychology where you fear to enter the market. So everything that you need to see has come to play. So it's just you to execute. But then you tell yourself, last time I entered, I lost. So you've forgotten that you need to follow your system regardless. So that's a psychology of fear of execution. Now there's another psychology which is now fear of missing out. Mm-hmm. Now in this case, the trade hasn't done everything that you need to see, but you fear, what if he end and iniache? What if the trade goes and they don't catch it? So this is a different type of psychology. So all of it is psychology, but you just can't say I'm struggling with psychology. You need to break down what area of psychology am I struggling with. When you start, it's possible you could be struggling with almost all types of psychology when you start. But as you go, as you develop, for example, I don't have any fear of missing out. I don't have any fear of execution. There's no day I see my setup, then I fear to enter. So you hardly find me with such problems. Another type of psychology is you are impatient with your running trades. So you've already opened a trade, your position is running, it needs to hit, let's say, a 1:3. Meaning if you are risking $100, you're trying to make 3 times $300. So the trade goes into a profit of $200. So it's not yet hit the 300. But your emotions tell you, let me just close. Now, an average person would think, but you still made some money. You still made some $200. But they don't know how bad that is in the long term in terms of balancing your wins and your losses. Because you need those big winners so that when it comes to the day you are losing, the big winners balance off the losses. The other way could be you're risking $100. So in the case the trade doesn't go to your direction, you're supposed to lose 100. So the trade is running and it's now running at a negative $80 loss. It hasn't hit the 100, negative 100, but it's at a negative 80. Your emotions tell you, man, this trade has ishapotea. So let me just close it before it hits the negative 100. After closing it, it now reverses and goes to your side. So psychology is very wide and it's very bad because those emotions will affect you are trading in the market. Yes. So
what is one psychology that you personally, struggled with when you're starting off?
When you are starting off, there is no psychology you won't struggle with. When you are just starting, all these things you see someone who's starting, even some of them will watch this video and they'll just realize that, so these psychologies can be broken down like that. Most people just say, I'm struggling with psychology. You ask them what are you struggling with, they'll just tell you emotions. Which emotions? Is it fear of missing out? Is it just emotions? So when you are starting out, honestly, you will probably struggle with all these things. But the more you grow, the more you will realize, I've now handled my fear of execution. So now when I see a trade, I can open. But after opening it, maybe I'm now struggling with me allowing it to run until it hits the target. My biggest one, I think I've shared even on my previous videos, one of the biggest psychology that I struggled with was, it's called premature closing of trades. One that I just said. It hasn't hit my target, but I close early, either in profit or in loss. And you don't see how bad it is until I've said in the long term, you see that those winners remain small and your losers also remain the same. So the winners don't balance out the losers over the long period of time. Yeah.
Okay, let's also talk about, let's go back a little bit to prop farm. I mean, would you be willing to share like your journey in prop farm trading?
Yeah, definitely. In fact, on my YouTube, I've already shared. Anyone who watches my YouTube, Rick the Trader, I've shared my prop farm journey all the way from last year. Right in about 2 years, I've shared from taking the small challenges, $10,000 challenge, $20,000 challenges, passing them. I've done all of them until right now I've showcased. The most recent one I showcased was a $50,000 account. I passed it. I got my first payout last week of about $3,000. I posted it all these live on YouTube. And I always do them even before I pass. So I don't just wait to pass and come and show you, I did this. I always do them weekly, like I post weekly. So I do already on my YouTube, I've been sharing my journey from last year. So there's nothing to hide about that. But I'll just say when I started off, how I got into prop farm, first of all, I got to a point where I knew I'm a good trader. I knew I had the edge in the market. I could see when I'm trading my small accounts, I was doing very, very well. My psychology was, well. Everything was good. Like I knew. I was comfortable enough to know that I know what I'm doing. But the only challenge was I don't have the capital. So I decided, let me enter into prop farms because I used to see them everywhere. They were running ads. They were on YouTube. I had done a lot of research about them, and I had known they are legit. Especially if you go, there are a few companies that I know have been there for a long time, and they're big companies. So I decided, let me try to take a prop farm. My first prop farms, I failed a lot of them. Not so many, maybe 3 or 4, because you also pay to take the test. So I didn't have the money to just pay for tests every other time. But the few that I took, I failed a lot of them, and I took a lot of lessons from the failure. Also, prop farms when I started were very difficult as compared to now. Right now, if you're a great trader, you can't have an excuse to tell people you can't pass a prop farm challenge if you're a good trader, specifically because they give you unlimited time. If it's going to take you 2 months to pass, well and good. 3 months, well and good. As long as you just pass. When I started, you were being given a 30-day limit. You must pass by 30 days. So if 30 days end and you haven't passed, you again start afresh. And you are paying for it, so it was very difficult.
How much was it like? $10,000?
A $10,000 will cost you roughly $80 to $100, depending with the company that you are going with. So when I started, I had challenges in terms of trying to make my trading strategy to suit those 30-day limits. Because I think I've just told you an example. Like this month that I've ended, and it's all documented on YouTube, I've done about 6% return on my account. Now, a prop firm will tell you you're supposed to do sometimes 10%. This is back when I started. 10% within 30 days. So for me, was done 6%, I'd be considered as someone who didn't pass. So for some of them, you would start again from zero. For some of them, you would...
That means
Yes. For some of them, they would extend for you 2 weeks. So meaning they're still forcing you to pass within the next 2 weeks. Well, the reality is trading doesn't work like that. Sometimes you can have a month where you do 10%, some other months 12%, some other month 6%, some other month 4%. You can have 2 back-to-back months where you did 3% this month, next month 4%. 3 plus 4 is 7. Still haven't hit the 10. So trading doesn't really work like that. There's a thing that says, a quote that says, the best traders in the industry make 80% of their profit within just 1 or 2 quarters of the year. That means if you're going to make, I was just sharing this to my community members, if you're going to make $100,000 profit at the end of the year, there's a very high chance, and this is statistical, the best traders in the world, 80% of that $100,000, you would have made it within 1 to 2 quarters of the year. Now, we cannot say whether it's going to be quarter 1 or quarter 2.
Yeah.
And when you say a quarter, it doesn't mean January, February, March. It could be January, the next month was August. Like, you can have a few months which are extremely big. Yes. Those big months are the ones that account for the big profit. And then the rest months are just usually slow months, sometimes a break-even month, sometimes a negative month. All of that is the journey of trading. That's why I don't really agree with people who make comments like, I make $1,000 per day, I make this X amount of money per day, per week, per month. That is not trading. That's not real. Yeah. You can't claim that I make X per day. It's not possible.
So anyone saying they're making per day, you wouldn't say like, oh,
they're not painting the real picture. Some of them are not painting the real picture. Some of them are just completely not telling the truth. Yes.
Wow, that is an interesting version that I hadn't heard. Even speaking with Ban the other day, he didn't speak. He didn't, say that he made some amount of money per day. But then, how many times would you say you trade in a week?
So it depends. So first of all, you need to understand, before you decide that I'll be trading like this and like this, you have to be conversant with the markets and to know what you're doing. Next thing, you have to develop something called a trading system. A trading system, as I've said, is a strategy. Developing a system is one of the hardest things. You literally have to backtest. Backtesting means you look at the past market data for the past 2, 3, 4, 5 years. You try to collect the data, and you try to use different confluences until you find a proven approach that, as long as I repeat this approach in the market, I might be losing a little, I win a little, but overall my performance is net positive. Yes. You do those things until you develop an edge and you come up with a working system. Now, the working system will be telling you when to enter and when to exit the market. So for example, my system, there are specific confluences, or rather steps that I must see happening, price doing specific things before I can be confident to say this is a high probability trade. Now, a high probability trade does not mean it must work. It just means there's a very high chance if I keep taking these trades back to back, most of them are likely to work in my favor. No, when you tell someone high probability setup, some of them think it means it's a sure bet. There's nothing like a sure bet in the market. But at least you know it has an edge in the long term, that over time you're going to be making money, you're going to be positive. So that's what tells me when to enter the market and when to exit. Now, the reality is there are days where, there are weeks whereby for the whole week I'm just waiting for the confluences to come into play for me to know that it's time for me to execute, or rather open that trade. So it really depends. I can't sit here and tell you I trade for how many days in a week, but I'll tell you this based on like just this year. In a typical week, I enter the market once. In a typical week, once. Not that I wake up and I plan I'll enter on Thursday. No. After following my system and waiting for the things to happen before I enter the market, mostly it just happens once a week, sometimes twice a week. Yes, sometimes.
It's like in a layman's language, it's like you're waiting for the stars to align according to what you've actually analyzed.
Exactly. Wow. According to what you've analyzed, and most importantly, you must have proven that approach works. You only prove through looking at the past market data for the past many years. So there's something called backtesting, where you backtest. After backtesting, you also have to forward test. Forward testing means for a whole 2, 3, 4 months, you're just trying to see whatever I've tested, I've seen it's working. So that's like a proof of concept. But now you want to actualize and see, apart from testing using the past market data, let me know testing using the current live market data on a day-to-day basis. So for me, like for example, the system I'm using currently, I've backtested it for about 2 to 3 years back on different pairs. After backtesting on different pairs, I narrowed down to the 2 most profitable pairs that I think I wanted to trade. So after backtesting different pairs, I don't trade all of them. I just selected 2 that I think I like, to avoid trading so many things. After I've backtested, I also forward tested it for about 4 months. So there was a whole 4-month period where I wasn't trading it on a live account to make money. I was just trading it slowly to just try and see how well have I mastered what I've backtested. So it really takes time to build a real system. It takes time for you to be a real trader. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Yeah.
So if I see someone who's telling me, yo, Ali, I can flip your account in 24 hours. I can, from $1,000 to 5,000 in a week or two. Do you think that's a legit trader?
No, because anyone who can flip, let's say if you want to flip $1,000 to $1,000, you want to do 100% within 24 hours. It's not possible. No, okay, let me correct. It is possible in the Forex market because of the high leverage and because sometimes you might gamble and be right and it works. But it's not realistic. It's not sustainable. That's the key word. You can't do it over and over. Most of the times if someone shows you I've flipped 100 to 1,000, most of the time, especially those who want to publicize it and make so much noise, and no one asks them. They just come and tell you, I flip. Most of the time, those guys do them 10 times. They fail 9, then they come and publicize one that works. Yes. So if you just fall for those things, you're the one who will be following the wrong direction. So it is unsustainable to try and do crazy returns over a short period of time. Even the biggest banks, the biggest hedge funds, money market funds, they don't promise you such returns in a month. Not because they are stupid, it's because it's not realistic and it's not possible. Simply because, okay, it's possible, but it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable because for you to do that, you are over-leveraging, number one. Number two, you are over-risking. You are risking too much. So you can't sustain it because you might be lucky and do it today. Try tomorrow, you blow. You try the other day, you lose thrice whatever you made the other day. So it's not sustainable. Yes. Yeah.
The other day we had one of the Forex traders who came here, and of course they claimed that they have a bot that doesn't make losses. I want to know, what's your take on bots, and are they a scam?
Well, I don't know about other people specifically, but this is what I'll say about bots, to be specific. You almost can't make money with bots in the long period of time, especially the ones that people are overhyping here and there. You see, bots come from the idea of automated trading. Automated trading is the idea that how I approach the market, I look for a programmer, someone who knows how to code. In Forex, we have the programming language of Forex is called MQL5. So I look for a programmer, a Forex programmer who understands MQL5. He codes for me my strategy and puts it in a code form. So now it's going to be like a system. What that means is the way I look at the market, he's going to take the same instructions and instruct it to that bot. That's what people call bots. So now, if I'd have traded when the market gets to a certain level, now I don't need to be there for me to trade. That bot knows what I'm supposed to do. So it has the instruction that it's going to do it for itself. But the reality is, even me where I am right now, the strategy that I'm using, it's very difficult to code it 100% because there are things where it requires my own human intuition for me to know that I'll be taking this trade or not. Some specific things that you can't really program and give a bot 100%. There may be profitable bots in the world, but I don't think that these ones that people are selling out here. Maybe big institutions have maybe a few systems that they use. It's very wrong to sit here and say that there's none in the world. Yes. There could be. There probably is. Maybe especially for the big institutions. But 90%, in fact 99% of these ones that people are selling here outside, they can't even show you any track record. You see, a bot can be backtested. So if someone is telling you, I have this bot and it can make you money, you should ask them, show me the last 1 year account statement of this bot. Yes. They can never show you. They'll just show you 2 months, 1 week, 2 months, last week. They can't show you a consistent. I'm talking of one account. Yes. So you see, in trading, I'm telling you, it's very difficult for you to know a scammer if you don't have knowledge. Someone will come and show you, I made this last month. He's showing you different accounts. Ask them to show you one account that has grown with that bot for 1 year or 2 years. Since they're claiming it's a real bot, they can't show you that account statement. Because if you put it on one account consistently, it will make money for 1 month, blows next month. Make money 1 month, blows next month. That's why they can't show you one consistent account. If you're still having your hope on bots, I'll just tell you, try to focus to learn manual trading. You will hardly meet, personally, I don't meet successful traders who tell you they just have a system that they put on the market, right? You just need to learn manual trading, learn price action, be able to be conversant with the market structure, understand how the market moves, understand the different levels of the market. It's going to take you time. It's a lot of hard work, but then you have the skill for yourself. personally, I've never come across a profitable bot in the long run. I've come across bots which can make money 1 month, 2 months, then it blows. Some 1 week, 2 weeks, it blows. But the thing is, they're not consistent. But I've also seen, maybe especially in Kenya, there are people who claim, oh, you're the one who doesn't know how to use the bot, or the bot doesn't work like that, you just need to take it. Some people make it as if it's a gambling thing, so they tell you, they'll put 5K in a bot and they're hoping they'll make money if they lose. So it's just like a gambling thing. But from a professional point of view, because myself, trading professionally, I'm trading the real market and I'm trying to remain in that route. Yeah. There is no way you can just buy these bots of 20,000 shillings and they make you a lot of money. Yeah.
Amazing. What about people who claim, they can do account management? You actually mentioned something very interesting to me that I really actually didn't know, that it is actually, guys, illegal to do account management. I mean, what are some of the insights that you can, fill us up with when it comes to account management? When people tell you, just DM me for account management, maybe you can enlighten us.
First of all, account management is illegal in Kenya. So when I see someone writing on their bio proudly with their chest that I do account management, DM me, I've told you that's the same thing as telling the government, hey, I sell cocaine. You're just putting yourself out there. Because account management is illegal. Account management simply means you're telling people, give me your money in trade for you, and then I be paying a certain return. In Kenya, it's illegal to do that unless you're licensed by the CMA. And currently, I'm not so sure about the number of farms, but I think we only have about 2 to 3 farms. I might be wrong. Maybe some came on board. But the last time I checked, we had about 2 to 3 farms, the lack of standard investment banking, which had the license of the CMA to trade for people. And even them, they don't take $200. They don't take 1,000. Okay, I think their minimum is 1,000 or 1,500, but they have 2 types of clients. Last time I checked, they had the small client who they were taking about 1,000 to 2,000, and then the big clients at $10,000 minimum. So the whole point is, it's not even legal to tell people, give me your money, I trade for you. So people who do that, I don't know, maybe they're doing it at their own risk. I don't understand, but for me, I know it's illegal, and it is illegal. Another thing is, if you really are a good trader, you don't need people to be sending you $200 and $1,000 to manage for them. Do you know why? Yeah. I've just told you, we have access to prop firms.
Yes.
So a prop firm can fund you up to millions of dollars.
Yes.
Even if not one firm, you can diversify across different firms. Like currently, the live account that I've been sharing on my YouTube publicly, I'm saying this because it's public and I share it. It's an account of $50,000. $50,000. How many people do I need to convince to give me $200 for me to raise $50,000?
There is so many people.
Now, exactly. People. And imagine now the emotional stress involved around texting the other one. Oh, no, I'll pay you. 200 people. You're texting them every other day. You lose money of 200 people. If you really are a good trader, take your time, take a prop firm challenge. You're going to get funded $50,000, $100,000. In fact, even $50,000 is small in a prop firm. Companies fund you accounts as big as one account of $200,000, 300. Even at the moment, I have an account of $200,000, but I'm still in the challenge phase. That's a different company. But the whole idea is, if you are good, take a prop firm challenge. A $200,000 prop firm will cost you roughly $1,000 to purchase. Once you pass, you're going to get profit, split, and you're going to get refunded. If really you can trade $200,000, you can make crazy returns in a month. Why do you need to tell people to give you $200, $100? It doesn't make sense. So account management, not only is it illegal, it also doesn't make sense if you're telling people you are a great trader, but yet you still want them to send for you small monies while you can have access to big capital. But it's easy to argue that the reason why they can't take the pro firm and they're taking the account management is because the pro firm will expose them, because the pro firm will you'll have to do the test and pass. Yes. So maybe they're avoiding that route because they know realistically they can't take the test and pass. So the easiest way is just to tell people, give me your money. Because if you're that good, take the pro firm, you're going to have $200,000 in capital.
You're going to trade and make way much money.
Much money.
Wow.
And this time you're trading for a company that is legitimate. The company has even given you a limit of what you can lose. Like, it's so much. You even have peace of mind as compared to having 200 people who have given you $100, $200. I just don't see the sense around it. If at all you claim to be a great trader, I don't see the sense around it. Yeah.
What about the people who sell signals?
Signals has very conflicting opinions. I think the thing with signals is even me, at some point when I became a good trader, I once tried signals just a little. Then I easily realized it's very difficult for people to make money with signals. Mostly because even if you're a good trader, even until now I get DMs, especially because I show my performance, my track record, people are like, where are your signals? Why don't you put a signal where you can just be copying your trades? Because I'm showing my performance and people want the same type of performance. But the reality is, signals, number one, it gives you a wrong, it corrupts your learning process. So imagine someone just telling you, you don't need to learn trading, just come to my group, pay me 5,000 shillings a month, you copy my trades. They don't even know how to copy the trades. They don't even know what they are doing. What happens if, let's assume, and the keyword is to assume you paid signals to a good trader, yeah? Then he trades profitably for like 2 or 3 months and you copy the same trades well. What happens when he disappears? Will you be again looking for another trader every other time that gives signals? So the whole thing is, if you really want to learn trading, learn it.
No shortcut.
If you don't want to learn, go and look for another career. It's just simple. Yes. This idea of bots, signals, all these other things that it's simple. It's either you learn manual trading, and maybe at some point if you get good enough and you get someone who can code for you your strategy, that's good enough. But if you code your strategy into a bot, you probably won't be selling it if it's actually working. Yes. But these whole ideas of looking for shortcuts don't exist. It's just that simple. It's either you learn, accept that it's a hard career, that it needs work, and I don't like to paint trading just from the hard point alone. I also like to tell people the truth. Trading is very lucrative in the long run. Like this month I did 6%. Again, on the account that I've shared publicly, that is $50,000. You can do your math of, let's say, doing 6% on $50,000. Now, do your math of 6% on 100,000, 6% on $1 million. For me, my goal is to hit about $1 million maybe max in the next 1 year in funding. And I'm working on it slowly by slowly in terms of capital. If you do 6% on $1 million within a month, you don't even want to know how much money that is. That is $60,000. So if people understand the kind of money you can make in trading, they'll stop being lazy. People are lazy because they're looking for a shortcut to solve their short-term problems. And this is not it. This is just a career like any other, but very rewarding for those who are willing to put in the work over the long period of time.
Do you feel like when you are trading for your prop firm and when you're trading your own money, when it comes to the emotions involved, is it different?
It really depends. I don't know. Maybe if you're a beginner, but for me right now where I am, I don't think it's different that much, because when I'm trading the prop firm, I treat it as real money because it's real and I get paid real money and I'm analyzing the real market. So I don't treat it as if I'm trading a demo account, because I'm actually trading real money in my mind because I'm getting paid real profits. So if you look at it from that perspective, I think it has the same level of seriousness. The only the problem with prop firms is that they have a lot of limits. For example, on a typical prop firm account, you can't lose more than 10% overall, right? And you can't lose more than 5% in a day for a typical prop firm. Now, also, 5% limit in a day, honestly, is not bad if you're a good trader. Yes. A good trader should not be losing 5% in a day. Wow. If you risk well enough, right? So I can't say that to be a bad thing. But if you're the type of person who wants to scale up in terms of you want to, double your capital in the next 2, 3, 4 years, prop firms might be a challenge because of those limitations. Because if I have my own $200,000 account, I honestly think I can comfortably risk even 3% in a trade. 3% because it will take me about 33 trades for me to lose my account. I cannot even lose 33. This year alone, I've not even taken 20 trades combined. No, 20 losses combined of the losses that I've taken this year. So for me to end up losing 33 trades, I don't know, unless my system is not working. Or I could risk something like 2.5% a trade. It would still take me about 70 losses or something, or 50 losses for me to blow my account. But the advantage is I can grow my account faster. So the advantage is that with your own account, you have no restrictions on the style of trading that you want. Yes. So you can decide to risk a little bit more while still being conservative and grow faster. While with a prop firm, you have so many limitations. So you can only risk certain percentages for you to make sure you're not losing the account. Maybe that's just the difference. Yeah.
Interesting. Tumapiga story na Rick, aka Clinical FX. I hope you guys are taking notes. I hope you guys are learning a lot. Actually, right now, you've been able to build a community of traders, newbies, and people who are actually interested in trading. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so when I say community, I just mean, first of all, from the different social media pages, I share a lot of content, whether from Instagram, sometimes reels, educative reels, where I share, some content that is meaningful and useful. Same thing on YouTube. My YouTube has a lot of content. I even have a playlist. It's called Beginner to Pro playlist. It has about 40-something videos. I've shared videos all the way from the things you need to know when you're starting, the strategies, so many things. So my community is just all about building real profitable traders over the long period of time. And I'm saying real because, again, most people don't show you what is real. So I'm really trying my best to just have the community where, through the knowledge that I'm sharing slowly, traders can come and know the truth about trading. The same way I feel like we have a lot of people who don't paint it in the right way. I feel like for me, I'm trying to do the exact opposite so that we can now have the people who will come across my pages somehow will now know the real trading as compared to what people show out there. So that's the community that I have, and through that, of course, I'm able to guide a few people here and there, and over time, they're able to also become good traders over time. I always say over time because there is no shortcut in trading. Even me, if you come to me and you see my performance, don't expect me to do any magic to make you a profitable trader tomorrow. And I'm not even trying to, I don't even try to promise people I'll help them to, you know, change your life tomorrow. That's like I'll be lying. The best that I can do is to share my knowledge. The best that I can do is to tell you the truth about trading and maybe provide resources or the platform. But it takes you to put in the work to become a trader. No one can make you a profitable trader. People can just share with you knowledge and give you guidance, but you still have to put in the work. So even if someone would ever approach me, they need to have that mindset. I'm not here to, you know, to make your life easy tomorrow. I can't do that. I can't promise you that. And if you don't find that enticing, again, as I've said, you might as well accept early enough that trading is not the career for you. Wow. Yeah.
This is the bitter pill that most young people right now who are watching this have to swallow. You get to understand that trading is a career like any other. If it took you 6 years doing law, 5 years, 7 years doing medicine, just know it's going to take you even more, a longer period of time probably doing trading. For many people who look at trading and probably think that it's a one-night thing, it's a 6 months thing, 1 year thing. He's actually been doing it for 6 good years. And he's still learning, he's still pushing. I mean, for many people who've been asking, for me to bring Rick Ama Clinical Effects, I think today we've actually learned a great deal when it comes to Forex. Thank you so much for coming. I think we've learned a lot. And maybe in the next, let's say 10 years, where do you see yourself, in this Forex industry?
There's a lot in trading. People don't even know the possibilities of what you can do in trading. I follow some traders. I think you just mentioned you interviewed Band, I don't know, Skorupunski. He has a very difficult name. He's one of the greatest prop traders in the world who has a track record. So I'm saying that because he has the numbers to back it up, and even him currently, as you said, he has one farm which has already funded him about $4 million. Just one farm. So me, who is still trading here $50, $100, $200,000, I'm nowhere close to the potential of what is achievable in this field. So there are levels to this field. It takes time. It takes a lot of, you have to be resilient because trading has a lot of ups and downs. So in the next few years, I think I still have a long way to go, especially primarily right now, it's about building capital. I'm targeting to build, maybe about $1 million or something in capital, maybe preferably through prop firms because that's the easiest route if you know what you're doing. Even after hitting the $1 million in prop firms, I still know traders in other countries who have funded $4 million in prop firms, $5 million in prop firms. So that tells you, even after hitting $1 million, I'm nowhere close to the potential. So there's still so much work to be done in this space. I've shared 6% on a $50,000 account is the X amount of money. 6% on $1 million is X amount of money. 6% on $4 million. So the percentage remains the same. What changes is the capital. Exactly. So for me, it's just more about building the capital over time. Yeah.
Wow. So when I'm speaking with Rick, and I'm seeing him talk about the fact that he's been there for many, many years. And of course, he's been able to make this a good portfolio. And I'm seeing people there online. And of course, they came 2-3 years ago. Excuse us, guys, we have a cat in here. So they came 6 months, 2 months, 2 years ago, and they're claiming that they can actually train you. They have Forex schools. What does it make you feel?
I think for me, it's just no disrespect, but as I've told you, I really empathize or I feel bad for many beginners because I feel like they're not in a position good enough to identify the difference between what is real and what is not real. In trading, a lot of things seem like they are real, but they are not. So that's my biggest empathy. Is not. I'm not even concerned about these guys. I think for them, that's, you know, they're doing their own thing, and, you know, I'm not a part of it. But the people I'm concerned for is these guys who are starting, who can't even tell the difference between real versus what just seems real but isn't, because they're falling for things that will never help them. Many of them are going to enroll into programs that, I guess, the only person who will gain is the person selling the program, but the student will just think they've learned, but they've just been taught a few basics. So I just feel bad for the people who are enrolling in newbies because they don't have the knowledge enough. But again, from this video, if they're smart enough, I've just given the criteria on how you can identify. As I've said, go learn first. First of all, make sure, if you know, get familiar with it for you to know if you really want to do this. After that, try to find someone who you resonate with. I don't mean resonate with their lifestyle because they have a car. Watch their YouTube videos. See people who do breakdowns. There are guys here who claim to be mentors. They don't even have a single YouTube video where they do a trade breakdown. So you wonder, you know, like, what do they have for someone to even see to know that they are real traders? So just like that. I think just learn from this video and try to follow that process for you to identify the real mentors. I think it's very, you know, I can't sit here and overemphasize about, you know, people who are doing shoddy things, because I think those people are everywhere, in every field. That's why the best thing that I can do, as I've said, is to shed light, so that those people who will see too much light, there's a verse in the Bible which says the light will comprehend the darkness. So when there's too much light, the light will overshadow the darkness. So for me, I'm just trying to shed light and show you the path that you can take. And hopefully, if you're smart enough, that light should be enough for you to know the difference between what is real and what is fake. Yeah. Crazy.
Thank you so much for coming. I mean, I believe that you have learned a lot today. If you are actually, you know, looking for a source, you know, I mean, this is knowledge that he should be charging, but he's just giving it for free. So thank you so much once more for coming. Maybe you can speak to your fans, speak to anyone who's watching, speak to anyone who's interested in Forex. Just tell them anything.
For me, I think maybe it's just to encourage the guys who are trying to become great traders. The journey path of trading is a difficult one. But I always say, there's a quote which says, I think, trading is one of the... Okay, I just forgot. You can make easy money, but in the hardest way. What they just mean is that the path is difficult. You'll sweat, you'll cry, you'll have all those tears. But then when you get to the other side, it's very lucrative and it's worth it. It's more than worth it, in fact. There's no industry that you can scale the same way you can scale in trading. Even the access we have to capital, the leverage. There is no industry that you can get the leverage that we get. Me trading even just $50,000 in a normal industry, another business, you know, enterprise, no one will fund you $50,000 just like that. You'll spend years for you to just get such amount of money. So I feel like in trading we have the advantage of leverage in terms of access to capital. We have the advantage of scalability, whereby today you can be trading $1,000, you scale to, like, you can scale so faster. Okay, not so faster, but over time you can scale well enough. So my encouragement is, the journey is not easy, but it's worth it in the long run. So if you're struggling with trading, first of all, you need to understand everyone that you watch, everyone, even if it's not me. Just understand that where you are, the successful trader was also there. It's a path that everyone took. Everyone had sleepless nights. Everyone had days when nothing was making sense. But in the long run, as long as you keep practicing, as long as you keep committing over time, it's very possible and it's very doable. So mine is just an encouragement, because I feel like many people quit because they get to a point where there is no source of encouragement, there is no source of motivation, and they just feel like you can never make money from trading. While it is actually possible over time. Yes, so just to encourage them. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. You did economics. Have you pursued the field, you know, in its own way, or do you feel like it's actually helped you in Forex?
No, I did economics, but I have never pursued it so far, because as I've told you, 6 years in, and I started when I was in my first year. So by the time I was starting to get my breakthrough in trading, I was in my almost 4th year. So I was finishing campus when I could take care of myself and do most of the things for myself. So I never had that push to feel like I need to go out there and start practicing whatever I'm doing. And with what I know now, the thing that I'm sharing with you in terms of the scalability of this field, what I know I can achieve the next 2-3 years, you know, it's crazy. So I don't see myself having that push to ever want to pursue it right now. But overall, I mean, I'm really interested in economics, finance. I think maybe I'll study more in that. I just like the whole space of finance, economics, but not doing it primarily from a point of trying to get a job or anything. And to answer if it's assisted me with trading, no. There is no relationship between economics and trading. Okay, there's something called fundamental analysis, whereby the different economic data can be used for you to gauge how different economies are behaving. And depending with the information you get from that, it can help you to make a decision on which economy is likely to become stronger or weaker. Based on that, you can probably make a trade decision. So there is a point where fundamental analysis comes in, but that has got nothing to do with the economics they teach us in school. You can go back and look for my classmates in our class. I'm the only trader. So if at all economics was, get past to becoming a trader, would be having so many traders or from my class of economics. So there is no relationship that much.
Thank you so much. Tell us your social media as we wander.
Yeah, you find me on Instagram, Clinical FX. Follow me on YouTube, Rick the Trader. Yeah.
I'm going to pin actually, the links in the comment section. Go subscribe to his channel. If you are truly interested in the right way or the right path to take in trading, he does his videos. He explains everything. He shows a good track record, a good portfolio. And that's actually one of the main things that you need to figure out if you're dealing with a legit trader. Thank you so much for coming. Mina naitwa presenter Alio Entertainment PA. The A is always for amazing. It's another episode fully and proudly sponsored by Chapa Mobile Loan App. They give you the best personal loans, emergency loans, and also business loans. No collateral, no CRB checks, and you can earn or you can get up to 80,000 Kenya shillings in 2 minutes straight to your MPESA. Download. I've actually put the link to the download in the description, and also you can get it on Google Play Store. Behind the camera we have Frank, the director. I'll see you guys